You may have heard the phrase, we do the same thing for less. And if you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why is that a lie? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live from Carlsbad, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, for some reason in construction, it's a race to the bottom. Today, I'm at a 5-star hotel. And so I have never stayed in a 2-star hotel, 3-star hotel, or a 4-star hotel. They go, hey, we're the same thing as the 5-star hotel up the street. We just do it for less. No, it's stated. You know that if you're staying in anything less than a 5-star hotel, it's less than a 5-star hotel, and you freaking know. The grounds of the place are beautiful. This is a nice place. When you fly on an airplane, you know the difference between a budget seat and a first class seat, right? I have sat in budget, I have sat in the cattle call, I have sat in business, and I have sat in first class. You are treated completely different in those seats in those locations. You go to a store, okay? You go to a store, you're treated completely different at a big box grocery type store than you are treated at a boutique store. And so we could just go through all of these areas in life until you get to construction, until you get to home services, and then you hear we do the same thing for less. So, couple things. At one point, I worked on a management team where there was 22 full-time salespeople, 66 technicians, 22 install teams, 18 plumbers. I mean, the list goes on. And we have management meetings, and we're like, how do we fulfill the needs of our clients? And here's the thing, it was not a cheap company. So there was money around to fulfill whatever needed to be taken care of. There was money around to take care of whatever was needed. We could throw the money at the problem, but sometimes it wasn't a money issue. It was, we just literally don't have enough people, even with 260 people in the building. We had support staff. And so when I hear a company that is on a budget, and I'm not knocking this, okay? When I hear a company that's on a budget, and they go, hey, we could do the same thing for less, my first answer is no freaking way. No, it's not happening and it's not possible. Because I've been in those meetings. I've worked for multiple companies. I've worked for companies that are this big, and I've worked for companies that are this freaking big, right? They're huge. They're huge. And so when people say that, you're going to have to give a little bit of pushback and be like, okay, you think that there's a difference between a 3-star hotel and a 5-star hotel? Yeah, they got a bed, they got a window, they got a door. Service is different, the grounds are completely different. Yeah, we do the same thing for less. You ever fly on one of the budget airlines and then fly in first class? Completely different. And so you have to get really good at conveying the message that that's not true. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, hvactechsecrets.com, drop in your name, your email address, probably your phone number. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. It's probably like some articles, some links to videos. Occasionally I sell stuff. Yep, I sell stuff, right? So it is an absolute fallacy that we do the same thing for less. That we do, the same thing that everybody up the street does. Now, here's the thing. You may have a salesperson that worked with you at some point. You're at XYZ company, they're at 123 company, and they're like, hey, here at 123 company, we do everything that XYZ company does, but we doesn't do it for less. That is a weak salesperson. Like, they're selling on price. They're not selling on how they do things. They're not talking about the expertise of their team. And, you should really, like, if it was me and they're like, hey, Scott, 123 company says they do the same thing. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. I can't think of anywhere in life where something like that is true, right? Ever go to one box store and compare it to the other? Ever go to a lower level department store and then go look at the service at another one? Nowhere in life is this true, except for we talk about this in construction, right? I can't share with you enough that if they're going to make that up, what else are they going to make up? If they're not going to be able to follow through on that, well, your job is to build doubt. Your job is to be like, hey, they're like the price, the fight to the bottom just doesn't work in the in-home services industry. A lot of really people that are super smart and smarter than me have tried it, and they couldn't make it work. Right? And look, I'm gonna share another story with you. I have a General B in California. I sat for the test, okay? Passed it, first time, fantastic, got a General B. But when I took the prep exam, I sat in a class and there was 25 basic questions. They were, square footage, thickness of concrete, how much lumber are you gonna need, 10% of 100. And there was some people in there trying to get a contractor's license that couldn't figure out percentages. I mean, if you're a salesperson, you can figure out percentages really fast. It's just, you could do it with a calculator, but they were in this class saying, how do I get to this answer? I'm like, do you want to be a general contractor? Like, this is your competition. We do the same thing for less as a fallacy. It's not possible for the long term. In the short term, you could possibly get away with it, but not in the long term. It's not freaking true. And the people that are out there saying that create problems for themselves. And it's an easy way to sell on price. So have the price conversation. Where else in life is that true? It's not true in medicine. Like going to doctors, it's not true. It's not true with hotels. It's not true with airlines. It's not true with restaurants, right? Like there's some really good chain Italian food, but it's not the same as going to Italy. I'm just going to share with you. I've stayed in 5-star hotels in London, Austin, New York, Miami, Hawaii, San Diego. I mean, like lots of places. I've also stayed in lots of 3-star hotels, and there's a huge difference. Be able to share the difference for the people that you meet with and that you have conversations with. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon.